Hello, good folks of the world. Welcome to episode 19 of the Accidental Sportswashing podcast. Our Johnny Unitas video, some may say. And we're back with the squad. Josh and Ryan here once again.
So
I don't know how they're dealing with the bullshit I put up every week, but hey, they're still here, going strong. But
I have a lot of time in my hands.
Okay, you don't have to roast me like that. All right.
I put a bullshit on my own. Don't worry.
It's not even a roast. Okay.
God. But this warning to all. This is probably going to be I think this is a pretty much all NFL episode. Not really much happened outside of football and wild card weekend coming up, so that means award predictions. You have draft shit going on, a bunch of questions now that the regular season is over. So let's just hop right into it. Week 18, man. Week 18
I like a filler week.
Yeah, but it was one of the best Week 18s I've seen in a while. Once again, Jared Stidham not playing horribly, but not obviously the best. But, Kansas City didn't get the job done. 31-13 over Las Vegas.
It felt like they didn't really take that game seriously. Everything that you saw on social media is like that merry-go-round thing that they did before the snap.
One of the players
they did not take that game seriously.
No, not at all. One of the players was saying he was mad fucking dizzy after. It was like that makes no fucking sense. Like, why would you want to discombobulate yourself before a play?
Nah, I respect the fuck out of that troll.
Oh yeah.
I respect the fuck out of it.
Yeah, don't get me wrong.
They kind of own the Raiders, so they have the right to do that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But all right. So then you have Tennessee at Jacksonville. You don't know how happy I am that I didn't have any money on this game. I just want to say that I did not have a betting stake in this. Ever since I wrote my article about them, still fuck the Athletic for dropping theirs right after me. But I've had a lot of emotional value
investment.
Yes, I am so happy that they're making the playoffs.
Trevor Lawrence is a great quarterback, so I'm very interested to see how he does against Herbert. Also,
I think it's gonna be a good
this game was awful. This game was pretty
dog shit. But
Dobbs had this nasty interception that he threw, where he underthrew the ball like crazy. I couldn't watch it after 10 minutes. I couldn't watch it.
I will say it was worth it for that fourth quarter because that fucking fumble recovery for a touchdown was insane, man. That was insane. That was unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I couldn't stand watching the Titans in the playoffs again. Plus, their OC got fired, so I'm very happy for their fans. Because, I forgot what his name, but their offensive coordinator, horrible. But moving on then into Sunday. Tampa Bay at Atlanta.
Tom Brady is
shit. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry about that. I was clapping. I hit the mic. Sorry, guys. But, Desmond Ridder, the light-skinned God. 224 on Tom Brady's fucking head. Fuck the fucking Buccaneers, man. Fuck the Buccaneers.
They're just a mess of a team.
Yeah, Algier. Jesus Christ. Algier had 24 carries for 135 yards. Drake London had 6 receptions for 120 yards. Drake London had not really, but had a fuck ton more yards than Brady did passing. 84 yards passing. Their leading rusher, Gio Bernard, had 28 yards.
Yeah, this was. This is not how you want. I know that they played their backups towards the end, and I understand this is a meaningless game for the Bucs, but this doesn't really. for a team that was already kind of treading water all year, I don't think these last 2 games inspire much confidence. You barely squeezed it out against the Panthers, and then you got the doors beaten off of you by the Falcons. I want them to beat the Cowboys because it would be funny, but I don't think that's happening. I don't know if that's happening. It'd be funny.
Tom Brady does have a really good record against the Cowboys. So I don't really want to count that out.
But remember, this is divorce Tom. He's not getting that supermodel pussy anymore. So.
Oh my gosh.
But in all seriousness, of course, Dallas got the by far easiest playoff matchup in the first round. But
I'm gonna fuck it up anyway. So
that's what I'm saying. I could easily see Dallas just rolling over. It'd be the funniest shit ever. God. But moving on, then you have New England at Buffalo, dropping that 35-23, losing their spot of the playoffs another year.
Aggie Mines had like 2 touchdowns off like kick returns. That's insane.
The nigga, I can't say that. The motherfuckers who love the number. I forgot what's it called, the numerology shit or whatever. Those people who like obsessed with.
Yeah, I think it's called numerology.
I think it's called numerology.
Yeah. So there was like it was 3, and they gave them the Roger Goodell added fuel to the fire with his script. It was like 3 months and 3 something since the last kickoff return. It's like, motherfucker, are you serious? And if his like, oh my god. And there was something else too. It's like, come on, man.
They were just like multiplying a bunch of numbers that added up, and like it was.
9 is 4 letters. 4. There's U is the 5th letter. Oh, does that mean Ben Simmons is going to become eternal god of the world? Like, it's the dumbest shit of all time. But yeah, I mean, New England looked mediocre, and what's the name? Josh Allen scored a bunch of fucking points.
I said it, man. He was gonna go off, and he did. He fucking dropped dick on the Patriots defense. Like, I don't even think Mac Jones played that bad. Like, even though, like, if you look at the last interception, that wasn't really on him. Like, that was bullshit. That was bullshit. But,
hot take.
I mean, what happened?
Hot take. You flip Mac Jones and Brock Purdy. Their teams are in the same exact situation that they are now.
I don't disagree. I don't think the gap is. I think Mac Jones is in that Brock Purdy kind of Jimmy G, like they can run an efficient offense if they have like that 49er system. I think Mac Jones, if you look at his rookie year, that's what he is. That's going to reflect what he is in his career more than this year. But at the same time, it's like that's not a high ceiling quarterback. So,
but also helps when you don't have fucking Matt Patricia.
The Patriots are like I can't believe I'm saying this because like if you said this like 5 years ago, you'd be considered insane. Like this is a poorly run organization right now. Like this team is really poorly run.
Even if it goes back to Kraft being a sexual fucking predator, Belichick with dementia and Matt fucking Patricia.
And they brought back Joe Judge, which is like
yes, and everybody was dick riding for them. Like there was dick riding them for it. Like, are you like? All the hates the Giants got, and now you went, oh, what a good move. Like, come on, man. No.
It's literally like a Nepo organization. It's just like a bunch of people that were formerly associated with the Patriots just coming back even when they fail. And it's kind of hurting them because a lot of the coaching staff in that organization is just really bad. Like, there's no way Matt Patricia and Joe Judge should have jobs right now. Just straight up.
No. But after that game, it was kind of sad to see the fact. I kind of did want Mac Jones to make the playoffs, but we all don't get what we want. Moving on, then Minnesota over Chicago.
Justin Jefferson didn't break the record, unfortunately.
Yeah, but 1 p.m. Kirk balled the fuck out. Well, not balled the fuck out, but he had a decent game. Nathan Peterman got an NFL start in the year of our Lord 2023. But I respect it. You know, good job for the Bears. You have your franchise quarterback. And
they have the number 1 pick.
Yeah, you have. I mean, I feel like looking back at the trade for Claypool, I don't know if I still would have made that trade because
that was a pretty bad trade in hindsight.
Yeah, you would have that. You would have another first round pick, basically a late first. But whatever, I respect the move. I'm not gonna get mad at a team for trying to win with their quarterback. So. Go ahead. But, yeah, Nathan Peterman getting the start in a clear tanky game, and the Vikings did what they had to do. As simple as that, you know. Rushing game was kind of lackluster, but besides that, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, Dalvin didn't really have that many snaps.
Exactly,
so I think that contributes to that.
Yeah.
Do you think the Vikings are going to be legit in the playoffs?
No.
Or should you just stick to that later?
No.
Okay.
I will definitely get into why they're frauds later. Don't worry. I'm ready. They're frauds.
Our Lord and Savior, Ryan Garcia, folks.
Right.
Then you have Baltimore and Cincinnati. This was a game.
Definitely happens.
It was a game. Why the fuck am I reading this right? Anthony Brown? Who the fuck is Anthony Brown?
He was like some free agent that
I'm
they
so
randomly
dead ass.
picked
He
up, I
threw.
think.
I mean, shit.
I
He
feel
threw
so
for
bad for him.
286 yards, man. He did throw 2 picks. I mean, well, he did go 19 for 44 with 2
I
picks.
feel so bad for him, man.
But
Like that's your first start. You just get fucking torn apart in the passing game. Like he threw the ball 44 times, don't even get 300 yards, get picked off twice. Like fuck, man.
I mean, throwing for more than
so bad.
I think if I threw for like 100 yards in like an NFL game, it'd be like the coolest thing ever. But when your team's trying to,
You're just a random, we're all
Isn't he
randoms.
getting
And
a
this guy's
playoff
like,
start?
yeah, I'm pretty sure, and he got sacked 4 times.
I just feel bad. Like I feel bad because like this is obviously not the situation you should be getting your first NFL starts in, and people forget how short the leash is for a non-first round pick quarterback. Like this, like if Anthony Brown plays anything other than anything worse than absolutely spectacular against the Bengals with depleted weapons, he's he probably will never get another NFL start again, which is. It sucks. Like it's kind of like I know I'm like laughing, but it's more so just like fuck, man. Like, dude, what do you do in that situation? Like, what is your
XFL,
outlook? Like,
Canada?
It's not even just that. Like, in terms of just like, how do you prepare yourself for this game, knowing that like the odds are stacked against you?
I think it's
you don't have many weapons. Honestly, yeah. I guess honestly, you could just say fuck it, air it out. You got a 50-50 ball downfield. You just fucking say you just air it out. But like. I don't know. Like, I feel bad for him. He's just not a situation you should be in.
And I just want to say, for the longest, I thought all the Lamar Jackson backups were white, because I didn't really look at the pictures. When you hear Brett Hundley and Tyler Huntley, do you think black? Do you guys think black when you hear that?
Because I knew who Tyler Huntley was beforehand, I can only think of him as Tyler Huntley. So
that's
like, I knew who he was beforehand. That's the only reason why.
Yeah.
But wasn't Trace McSorley backup for a while?
That's why I always thought white, because Trace McSorley. Okay.
And then Flacco, he took over for Flacco for a little bit. So that was, I think Flacco left the year Lamar began starting over him. They went to the playoffs. They lost to the Chargers, right?
Yeah.
Was that his last?
Yeah, that was before the MVP year and everything. So.
Yeah. But moving on then. Shit, my bad. I'm gonna cut this out because oh my fucking god, I have so many tabs. All right, 3, 2, 1. Lovie Johnson, it's Lovie Smith, isn't it? Fuck.
Is it?
It's Lovie Smith. All right, 3, 2, 1. Lovie Smith, the absolute. That needs a fucking statue in Chicago now. Holding off Houston from completing the take, beating the Indian. Jesus Christ, beating the Colts by 1 fucking point in the one game they wanted to lose, 32-31.
The touchdown that they had to equalize was the most
Davis
insane.
Mills had 298 yards, which is just, that might have been the most he's thrown for all year.
Is it?
Yes, that is no. He threw for 319 versus us, but he threw for 298 yards. I think tied about maybe the 3rd highest quarterback rating he's had all year. And I just want to say that's fucking hilarious. The most touchdowns he's thrown all year. So.
I mean, to be fair, it's like a lot of those stats are juiced up because of one play.
Oh, yeah, but still.
That 4th and 20 conversion's probably one okay. In the context of this, like the weapons he has, the situation he's in, that's probably the best throw of his career. No,
I mean,
that 20 conversion was fucking insane. Like that's actually unironic, like a really good throw.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't think Davis Mills is good or anything, but like, holy shit, dude.
I remember when people were arguing that he could be the starter for the future.
Dude, I remember
when
people thought he was like QB1 of that draft class. Like,
yeah, I'm like, come on, like, there's nothing impressive he really showed, even before the season. But,
he put up a lot of passing stats because they had to throw the ball because they were constantly behind. Like, that's what happens. You can rack up yards like that pretty easily.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. But I really do feel bad for Texans fans. I really do. Like, their former hero and franchise quarterback was a rapist. Is a rapist. They traded their best wide receiver ever for not even peanuts.
Wait, their best wide receiver ever?
He's better than Andre Johnson. I'm taking DeAndre Hopkins.
I mean,
Johnson.
Okay.
But Yeah, you traded your best your best wide receiver for fucking not even peanuts, peanut shells, and just
Yeah, Bill O'Brien is your
Bill
GM for this.
O'Brien, just so much shit. I feel bad. I mean,
And
they're still
you
gonna get a
completely
decent quarterback,
wasted
but
JJ Watt's career.
yes, that too. But moving on, you have the pitiful game of the week. Miami over the.
Oh, ew.
Yeah, this might be the no game of the week. But the Miami
Wait, 11 points though. Like,
11,
how do you get 11?
11-6. Skylar Thompson led passing yards and with 152. Joe Flacco not far behind at 149. Zonovan Knight had 12 carries. How many yards do you guys think he had?
I don't even. I have it in front of me, and I like this is the this.
22 fucking yards, motherfuckers. 22 yards.
I
That's
subjected
insane.
myself to watching this game, and it is maybe one of the worst decisions I ever made.
All right.
Like legitimately, at least Garrett Wilson balled out. Garrett Wilson, the fact that he got 89 yards with Joe fucking Flacco as his quarterback, he's special, man. But
All right.
everything else about this game was miserable.
Josh, you were inquiring
At least
about
you're getting
this.
a good pick,
Josh, you were inquiring about the scoring summary. All right. So first, very very exciting. A Jason Sanders field goal, 37 yards, put up Miami 3-0. Then a Greg Zuerlein field goal, 32-yard field goal. Like 3 minutes later?
So
No,
it's
2
just
minutes later.
field goal.
Jason Sanders, another 37-yard field goal after a 15-play drive to put Miami
that's-
over 6. And then Greg Zuerlein, a 35-yard field goal to tie the game back and then 14 plays. Then Jason Sanders hit a 50-yard field goal with 18 seconds left to put them up 9-6. And then Elijah Moore fumbled the fucking ball out of bounds in the end
So they
zone
got
for a
safety?
safety.
Oh my God.
That's how we come to 11-6.
That's awful.
Yeah, that they really tried their hardest to really sneak in the worst game of the year, right at the fucking end. It's definitely up there.
I mean, at least they're getting a good pick out of this.
Exactly. I
So,
mean, not okay pick, but then moving on, the Red Rifle, even though they lead passing, rushing, and receiving, lost the game 10-7 to the Panthers. Sam Darnold. Fuck you. I bet on
remember
Sam.
when
I bet on Sam Darnold over passing yards. This motherfucker
ew.
threw the ball 15 times, completed it 5 fucking times, threw 2 interceptions, and threw for only 43 yards. 40 fucking yards. How, as an NFL quarterback, do you only complete 5 passes and throw only 43 yards? Like, holy shit, how can you be so bad?
He's just like I know. Okay, I'm not saying that like it was wrong at the time when he was drafted. Like
It was. I stand on that. I stand on that. It was the wrong decision. People were calling Saquon, but I'm like, Sam Darnold is a much worse pick, and I'm glad it's showing up.
Oh, for sure. No, I mean, even like now, like that's definitely would have been the worst pick. But the way I see it is like now it's like, or even going into last year, we are at the point of Sam Darnold's career where we know he's not starting any quarterback. Like he's fucking dog shit. I'm sorry, he's terrible.
Don't apologize.
He's horrific. It's horrible. It's horrible, man. I mean, there's nothing. I don't know if I feel bad because like I don't know if there's any standout qualities from Sam Darnold that like I would say I like the guy or don't like the guy. But like, dude, it's. The Panthers need to just draft a quarterback. Get it over with.
Yeah.
Stop. Don't trot out the same retreads from the 2018 draft class.
Colts.
No more Baker Mayfield. No more Sam Darnold. No more fucking. I mean, PJ Walker's cool, but he's not. I mean, he's not.
He's black, so not too much slander, but still.
Yeah, I'm separating him from Mayfield and Darnold slander. Don't worry. But
Remember when
they
Terry
have to
Bradshaw
quarterback.
said that like Sam Darnold could have been like the Panthers' best quarterback in like franchise history?
CTE.
That was just.
That was just racist. That's just racism.
Yeah, but moving on, Cleveland dropping to Pittsburgh. Pickens had 70 yards, but yeah, it's fucking rant time. I'm sorry, 2 rants like back to fucking back, but Mike fucking Tomlin did it again. This motherfucker winning fucking season, you fucking pussies. Suck my
I still
big
don't know how he
black
always does it.
erect dick, you Western Pennsylvania fucking racist. Kill yourselves and be thankful. Be fucking thankful. Mike Tomlin hasn't called in a fucking airstrike on your shitty little towns that go around fucking each other's cousins. Like, holy shit. Be a fucking appreciative. Thank God. Mike Tomlin is above God. Mike Tomlin is fucking here. Alright? And you better thank every waking moment that Mike Tomlin decided to not just kill all you motherfuckers. Not talk. He talks to you motherfuckers every day, and he coaches you. He coaches your team every day. Be fucking thankful, you little pieces of shit. Fuck you. That's all that we're not saying anything about this game. Fuck the rapist. That's it. And Najee's still mid.
I will say Pickett's progression throughout the season has been great to see, and I think Tomlin, if you give Mike Tomlin anything resembling a quarterback, Pickett could be. I know the touchdowns and interceptions weren't great, but in terms of if you watch him play, he's progressed well throughout the season. If he's an above average passer, he'll probably be the first quality NFL quarterback Tomlin's had in 4 years now, right?
Yeah,
so
5 years.
I think we're looking at a Steelers team that is going to be a lot better. Their outlook's a lot better next year than I think a lot of people give them credit for. I think they'll be able to finally put together a solid passing game.
They just need to fix their offensive line. They just need to fix their O-line.
Really, that's really it. And then I think next year is going to be a pretty good year for them. And they also remember you guys mentioned the Claypool trade. They basically have a late first round pick.
Exactly.
So they'll be able to get some quality talent. They have 3 picks in the first 2 rounds, which is good to see. And as you mentioned with Mike Tomlin, he's a shoo-in to be a Hall of Fame coach. I don't know how he does it. I really don't, because again, Pickett didn't even play all year. Didn't they have to start fucking Trubisky, dude? Every year he does it every year. And I think that team should have made the playoffs. I'm really upset that team didn't get to make the playoffs, because I would have rather seen Kenny Pickett than have to see fucking Skylar Thompson. But oh well.
Yeah. But moving on, then you have a good game from Russell Wilson. I got choked up for a second because I wasn't expecting to say this. But yes, the Chargers ran out their starters in a meaningless game, and Mike Williams is now out. I understand you get unlucky with injuries, sure. And Chargers have been very unlucky with injuries. I understand. But in a game where you have nothing to gain and everything to lose, why are your starters out there?
Doesn't make any sense.
One more fucking win, which you didn't even fucking get.
It's not even the excuse where it's they have a wild card. They have the wild card game off, and
Exactly.
so it's just to prep the players. There's no excuse to put these players in.
Yeah, that's
because you're just.
it's
a literally pointless game. By that
But yes, my boy Danger Russ, let him cook.
I still can't believe that he did that well. He actually looked really good this game. He had that really good pass to Judy. That was 50, 60 yards. That was actually a really good throw. To be fair, he's always had a really good moonball throw. It's just, he never really pulls it off as much as he used to.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully this is more to come and they can really push it together with a decent decent head coach next year. So we'll see. But yeah, Chargers fucking bunch of fucking idiots, man.
Yeah, Brandon Staley, putting your players on the line, putting your starters in danger like that, and this is the type of shit that happens.
That's fucking malpractice.
Yeah, you put yourself in a position now where you're going to Jacksonville, you're down on your top threats offensively. If they get sent home, you can't. I don't think you can justify I don't know if you can justify Brandon Staley being the head coach next year. I might go that far. I know they made the playoffs, but that's some shit that I wouldn't do. And I wouldn't consider myself anything close to an NFL expert. I would say out of the 3 of us, I probably know the least about football, but I can say confidently I wouldn't put my starters out in a meaningless game after the Ravens lost. You know what I mean? So when you're doing shit that I consider myself pretty stupid, it's shit that I wouldn't do, then you can't be a head coach in the NFL. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. He hasn't even been doing that great as a coach this season.
Mid.
I mean, he got a lot of love for being like that super aggressive coach that always go at it for fourth down and shit. But I mean, he just makes a lot of weird decisions for the most part, things that don't really make
Weird and
sense, not even
lame.
analytically. So
Weird
it's
and
like I
fucking
don't really think he's the coach that should coach a talent like Herbert long term.
Yeah. But moving on. The Giants
Do
losing to Philly.
we need to talk about
But
this?
very
Okay.
very important news. My boy Gary Brightwell rushing leader with 60. I have been on the Gary Brightwell hype train ever since right before he got drafted. And once I've always wanted these like late round running backs, but if we never drafted them. So the fact that we drafted Brightwell, oh my god, fucking terrific. Davis Webb got his first career touchdown. Very cool. He trucked him, nigga. Dope as fuck. That's my white boy. And
Winning all day.
yeah. He bitch slay. He bitch big play slay. That was like that was like how, like, you've played 2 seasons for us, haven't done jack shit, but decide to just absolutely dick down one of the best corners in the league with like seconds left in the last week of the season.
And that was like a ridiculously hard catch as well. That's not like a simple slant route or whatever. That's like a super contested catch against one of the best corners in the league right now.
Yeah.
It's insane. Like, he just pulls off random shit like this,
Out
but
of his
proceeds
ass.
to being unable to do anything else. He can't do anything else, and he proceeds to do that. Like, what the fuck's going on with him?
But yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of do have the Eagles on fraud watch. Because why are you beating fucking Whopper workers by 6 fucking points with your stars?
Dude.
I get you're easing Jalen Hurts back in, but there's no reason you're only beating the Giants by 6 points.
It's gonna be fucking hilarious when like a team actually has like the most gut-wrenching thing happen to them, and they gotta hear the fucking Whopper.
I don't know if anything's
like,
I don't think anything's topping the Patrick narrating the fucking interception.
Yes.
Nothing's
That shit was
ever
cool.
fucking. Yo, that was so like I would imagine Russ's kids watching that. Patrick, oh no, yo, God.
Like, honestly, dude, like if I have to see like Kirk Cousins drop a fucking bomb to Justin Jefferson. To,
Listen,
like, put him up by
it's a
7
4:30
and
game.
have that commercial.
It's a 4:30 game where he's
That is
not
true.
playing the show. All right, let's speed run through these last couple games. So yeah, then you got Arizona over San Fran. Another game nobody really wanted to watch. San Fran did San Fran things. AJ Green had 91 yards. To a legend. JJ Watt's last game, unfortunately, all the best to him in retirement. Hopefully not racism like his brothers, but apple probably doesn't fall far from the tree. But yeah, Cliff Kingsbury's finally fucking out, and it looks like what's his name is out as well. The worst GM ever, Steve Keim, is finally out. And
They just need a fresh start, man.
yeah, I mean, I don't think you can trade Kyler, but if they do, I'm not going to be hugely shocked. But I don't think you trade Kyler at this point because it's what makes this. You have
And he has a huge contract as
Yeah.
well.
And but yeah, you're probably gonna be trading Hopkins. So I feel like this is really like a really cool opportunity for head coaches and GMs because you're gonna get picks back for DeAndre Hopkins. You have a young quarterback who still has a fuck ton of potential, but you do have a lot of holes all over. And hiring a coach is gonna be hard. So, but they've always had the potential to be one of the best teams. One in the upper echelon of the NFL. It's just the coach has been shit, and the players I don't feel like have really messed. Like JJ Watt was good as a Cardinal, but you don't like when you say JJ Watt, you don't think of the Cardinals. You think of JJ Watt as a person. When you even DeAndre Hopkins, it doesn't feel like they're a team per se. Like it feels like they're they're separate
Also feel
enigmas
like-
just with the same jersey.
Yeah. I also feel like the schemes that they run don't really benefit every single player in here. I think the best example is Isaiah Simmons, who is like before the draft has this like next big defensive guy, the guy that could do everything and anything at once. And I mean, he hasn't been awful, but he's been just painfully okay so far.
Yeah.
And for a player that was like hyped up like this, it's kind of, disappointing, I guess. But he doesn't really fit the scheme at all. I could imagine him doing like way better with a team like, the 49ers. Like I could imagine someone that versatile and that athletic just doing a shit ton of good stuff with that team. But he's stuck with the Cardinals. So
yeah. Yeah, and then moving on, another fraud watch. Washington over Dallas, 26-6. What the fuck?
I can't trust this. I can't trust this.
Yeah, I really hope. Are they playing in Dallas? No, they're playing in Tampa. I would not mind a simple little airstrike on Raymond James Stadium during this game because I would rather not watch either of these teams. But it's gonna be hilarious. We're gonna be memes are gonna be flying out the fucking wazoo. But before we go any further, can we please all agree Sam Howell is okay? He's not that good. And I fear
he's all right.
Yeah, like motherfuckers are gonna start. Oh, how many wins would the Commanders have if he started all season? Maybe one more.
He was pretty good in the preseason, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but like come on, let's fucking relax. Like he had an okay game, but he's still not that good. I really hope he's not another Heineke where they just start dick riding him because he's white and is like below mid. But
and like one of the few like good players that they have.
Yeah, but like Dallas, what the fuck, man?
It's just I don't know. This team is weird. It's like they started off pretty well, especially without Dak to start the season. And everyone was like, I think we also said this like during the Eagles game, their first Eagles game, where it's like, oh, if Dak played, they would have won, and we were like legitimately thinking that they could probably make it out of the NFC, and now I guess they just finished the season off really poorly. Dak Prescott has like 15 interceptions, and he didn't play. What was it, like 5 of the 17 games of the season? It's like. I mean, that's pretty bad, especially with like how he's closing out the season. He's had what it was like he had 5, 7, 9, 10. He's had like 13 interceptions after the bye week. That's like how many players have had 13 interceptions after their bye week? I don't know many.
Too fucking many.
And ultimately, like, dude, how long we're what 6 years, 7 years into the Dak Prescott tenure with the Cowboys? Like, at what point are they gonna at what point is being a team that's good enough to make the playoffs but probably can't win compete for the Super Bowl? Like, I think they can get past their first round matchup. I think they can get past the 49ers, but I think the 49ers are significantly better. And then if they somehow, some way, like got to the NFC Championship game, won the NFC Championship game, then got to Super Bowl, like, do we trust them to beat any of the AFC top dogs? You know what I mean? Like, We've reached a point where we're 6 to 7 years into this era with Prescott, and they have never really put together a team where you're like, yeah, this team, top 2 team in the NFC, this team's gonna go out and they're gonna just watch out. This team's really freaking good. You know what I mean? It's like every year they're like, dark horse. They're never going to get picked. They're never going to be favored in terms of Vegas odds. They're never going to have high odds to win the Super Bowl in comparison to the rest of the field. They can't keep being like this. You can't continue to be like this year in and year out and expect.
It's the fucking Cowboys,
different.
Ryan. What do you expect? They've been so mid. Like, they are probably the definition of mid, and the only reason they aren't looked at as like typically mid is because they're America's team, quote unquote.
They're just like historically big underachievers, I guess, especially with the talent that they have. It's like even last year they had 13 wins. They had like one of the best offenses in the league. Michael Parsons was really good in his rookie year, and they lost to the 49ers, who weren't even expected to go that far in the playoffs. It's just, I don't know, it just hasn't been a good look for them. They have never really consistently played well in the postseason, even when they had Tony Romo. They're just not a good franchise right now. They're just not really a playoff caliber team. They're not really a team that, I guess they're a playoff caliber team, but they aren't a team that you expect will to
Yeah.
do well in the playoffs.
They're plus 1,600. They're so the out of all the public betting odds we have right now for the Super Bowl, plus 1,200, plus 1,300, plus 1,600. Like they're not in that upper echelon with where the Bengals, Eagles, 49ers, Bills, Chiefs are. Where they're like, I mean, the odds are the gap between the Bengals and the Cowboys, and they're 5th and 6th. And I go, oh well, the Cowboys are right behind the Bengals. The Bengals are plus 750. Cowboys are plus 1,600. Like that's a
Jesus
fucking massive
Christ.
gap, dude. Like they are that team that's right below the team that you're like, yep, this team's gonna go out and win the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like they're just not there. They're never there. You know what I mean? Like at some point they have to have that internal question where it's like, what is like they can't and then Dak this year just hasn't looked like a quarterback that I trust in a postseason environment. I don't even mean to say this to like bring him down too much, but like I would never imagine that I would sit back and say, you know, a Brock Purdy led team, a team that the last quarterback picked in the recent draft, Brock Purdy's
player in the draft,
right? Last player in the draft is less likely to screw his own team over in a postseason game than Dak will. He's too turnover prone. He's got a lot of it's a big issue, man. Like I don't even care about interceptions that much because like Allen has 14 or 15. Mahomes I think has 13. Like they have a ton of picks, but they make a ton of big time throws. You don't care because they'll get picked off once and then make 3 or 4 incredible, ridiculous throws and get you in the end zone. Like you don't care about picks at that point. But Dak doesn't do that. He can't turn the ball over at this rate. And it's going to reach a point where we're too far into his career for him to keep doing this year in and year out. I'm going to give him I'm not going to conclude that they already are out of the playoffs because anything can happen in the postseason, but it just doesn't look good for them. It doesn't. And even their first round matchup against the Bucs, like they should be heavily favored to beat that team. And I don't feel like they're that much better than the Bucs. I don't feel like the gap is that massive.
No.
And the Bucs I don't think are very good. So like what is this situation here? They're minus 2.5. Minus 2.5 against an 8-9 team that fucking sleepwalked their way into the playoffs, right? Like, come on, what are we doing here? You know, like even like I'm pretty sure I'm gonna double check this, but outside of the Jacksonville game, that is the closest game in terms of odds makers, in terms of odds making right now. So how is that possible? You're a 12 win team and you're barely favored to beat a fucking 8-9 team. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, but yeah, I think you said everything that needs to be said right now. So, the last game of the season, one of the best of the season easily. Green Bay dropping to Detroit. You know, Aaron Rodgers missing out the playoffs, and Jared Goff, man, 224. And I just want to say shout out to Jamal Williams. Had one of the best Sunday night football intros of all time.
Dude, he was like switching up like crazy in that post-game speech.
But he also had, that's what I was going to say about. And his post-game speech, probably one of the best ever. Like I said, like it was just absolutely beautiful. So, big shout out to him. Like if I had to choose a man of the week, it'd be him. 2 fucking touchdowns, breaking Barry Sanders' record for rushing touchdowns. And the Lions, they've stepped the fuck up, and they're not my favorite team in the world, but I am excited to see them make a push for the playoffs next year with a couple added pieces. I'm really looking forward to that.
Do you think they're? I don't think they're going to draft a quarterback this year, right?
I don't think they're that high, so it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah,
but it's better just because you've seen that Jared Goff. Once he got in a system with a decent coach, well, not a decent coach because McVay is obviously McVay. But now you see that, he can be a decent quarterback, a serviceable quarterback. And as long as you have the wide receivers around him, you have a good running back room, maybe improving your offensive line a little bit, definitely your defense, obviously. If you can work on your defense a little bit, you're probably a playoff team next year. So
he's a good bridge quarterback.
Exactly.
Essentially.
All right. Now for the moment we've all been fucking waiting for. Playoff brackets, baby. All right. So, who's going first?
I'm pretty set on my playoff bracket. I'm pretty confident in this one.
All right. So, you got it right. So, starting off in the AFC, Jaguars at Chargers.
I'm picking the Jags.
Jags, okay. Then you have Bengals, Ravens.
Bengals.
Then you have Bills, Dolphins.
Bills. Yeah, it's bye week.
All right. Then NFC. In the NFC, you have Bucks, Cowboys.
It's close, but I know I just shit talked the absolute, like, I just word mouthed off from the Cowboys, but I feel like it's like if they lose this game, it'd be embarrassing. So I'm gonna pick them to win.
All right.
I just they cannot be losing a game like that.
All right. 49ers, Seahawks.
49ers.
And then Giants, it's Vikings.
Give me the fucking G-men, baby. Let's go.
Fuck 4:30 p.m. Kirk, nigga. All right, moving on. You have Bengals, Bills.
I'm gonna go with the Bills. I love the Bengals. I think they're really good, but I'm going with the Bills
And
here.
Jags, Chiefs.
Gonna go with the Chiefs. Sorry, it's Patrick Mahomes, man. I
All
have a
right,
hard
Cowboys, 49ers.
Cowboys, 49ers. By
And
blowout.
The Eagles and the Giants.
Okay, so it's like I think this is gonna be a closer game than people give it credit for, but I think I'm gonna go with the Eagles.
That's
Pretty
fair.
sure. Like I want to go with the Giants, but I think the Eagles. It depends because the rust. I think the weeks off could either hurt them or help them, but I'm gonna side with maybe it helps them.
Yeah. All right, then Bills, Chiefs in the AFC Championship game.
I'm picking the Chiefs here.
Yeah,
Going with
okay.
Mahomes here.
And 49ers, Eagles.
49ers. I think they're clearly better.
And then to win for the Super Bowl, who do you have, Chiefs or 49ers?
In that rematch, I'm gonna stick with the Chiefs. Now, I know it's boring to pick Patrick Mahomes to win the Super Bowl. Like it's picking the best quarterback to win the Super Bowl. But I am as big of a believer in Patrick Mahomes as it gets. Like I think he's this is his year to kind of go back out there, win another Super Bowl, and kind of place himself in that cement himself like he's confidently a top 3 quarterback of all time. Right? Like this is kind of coinciding with Rodgers missing the playoffs. This is kind of the lowest point of Rodgers' career. Mahomes is going to win a Super Bowl, probably get a second MVP, and probably put himself in that, like, okay, it's Brady and Manning as the 2 guys he has to jump over. But I mean, you could make an argument he's like already done enough to say that on a per rate basis, not career wise.
Well, per rate, yeah, but I'm not.
Career definitely not, definitely not. But to the point where like I can say Mahomes is on pace that he can go out there and Mahomes is probably the clearest guy I think I've seen in any sports right now that I'm like, dude, this guy can end up the greatest of all time in his position, sure. Like for sure. Not even just in his position in the NFL, but this is a big step for him. He's got to get that second Super Bowl, and I think this is the year he gets it.
That's fair. All right. Would you like to go next, Josh?
I could go.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna hit you with the same way. Jaguars, Chargers.
I'm gonna take the upset and say the Jaguars here.
All right. Bengals, Ravens.
So I'm gonna take the Bengals here because I'm pretty sure Lamar's not playing this game.
He's not,
he has like some PCL injury. Yeah, he's not playing.
Yeah, and then I'm just gonna put the Bills in for you because come on.
Yeah.
Bucks, Cowboys.
Okay, so here's the thing. Tom Brady is 7-0 in his career against the Cowboys. So I'm probably gonna take the Bucks here just because of that history. And because, the Cowboys are not that great.
All right, Vikings, Giants.
I am taking... Okay, it's hard. The Vikings are, like, kind of frauds, low-key.
You know who you're picking, Josh. We've been doing this all year.
Oh, okay, I'm going to take the Vikings.
Good man. Then 49ers, Seahawks.
I'm taking 49ers because the defense.
Then you have Bengals, Bills.
That's going to be hard. That's going to be so hard. If it wasn't for the whole injury and everything for Monday night, I think I would have a better picture of who I would take. I'd probably take the Bills, but like in a very, very close game.
All right, then Jaguars, Chiefs.
I'm taking Chiefs.
Buccaneers, Eagles.
Yeah, I'd take the Eagles. I'd take the Eagles. Yeah.
Vikings, 49ers.
I'm taking the 49ers. I think I'm taking like the 49ers all the way. They're just too good of a team.
And then you have Chiefs, Bills.
So here's I think the Chiefs are like one of the worst 1 seeds that we have in a while.
Probably,
like because they don't really have great receivers. It's just all Mahomes.
Besides Kelsey.
Yeah, besides Kelsey. though Josh Allen is like, he's like the kind of guy where it's like he might throw like 3 turnover-worthy plays in a game. He's too good of a player, and he creates too many big plays for me to be like, yeah, it's going to hurt him against like, the Chiefs, who don't have like the greatest defense in the world.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to say the Bills. I'm
Alright,
going to say it.
then
I think it's the Bills.
Battle of the 2 seeds, Bills and 49ers. Who are you taking?
I am taking... I might go to the 49ers here.
49ers, okay. Respect it.
I think.
Respect it. The 49ers are the Bills, boy.
Yeah, I'd take the 49ers.
All right.
I think that defense is going to hurt Josh Allen.
All right. So I have a pick that's different than all of yours, which we'll see. But so yeah, I'm going Jaguars over Chargers, Bengals over Ravens, and Bills over Dolphins. I'm also gonna take the Buccaneers over the Cowboys. I'm gonna take the Giants. Then I'm gonna take the 49ers. But I do believe if there's one team that's going to beat the 49ers out the NFC, it will be the Seahawks. That is the bold prediction. If they get past the Seahawks, they're winning every other game. That's it. Playing a team, people are like, oh yeah, it's the Seahawks. There's all Geno Smith and shit. They don't have a good defense. Beating a team 3 times in a season is very fucking hard. So give me the 49ers. I mean, give me the 49ers, but I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be too surprised if they lose. Then the Bengals and the Bills. Joe Brrr. Give me the Bengals.
Okay.
Who they?
That team is really... I can't pick between those two, honestly. But that's too hard.
I think
the way I see it... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I think whoever wins this game is winning the Super Bowl. Whoever wins this game is winning the Super Bowl.
I could see that. I could see that.
But so give me the Bengals. Then give me the Chiefs or the Jaguars. I definitely take the Jaguars if they had a slightly better offense. It just showed their offense has been really stagnant recently, but I do really still like them as a team. Maybe next year they can figure out some of those problems and hopefully the defense steps up a bit. But I'm glad they made the playoffs this year. Let's hope they keep that AFC South crown. Then on the NFC side, yeah, give me the 49ers over the Bucs easily. And this probably sounds biased, but they need dimes. Saquon Barkley. Giants will finally have a fully healthy defense. Most importantly, secondary, going against this Eagles team. Like I said, it's very hard to beat a team 3 times. And I get the Eagles may not have been going 100%, but still, allowing a team led by Davis Webb to only lose to you by 6 points in a game where they really could have taken the lead if they were going hard, that scares me a bit. Give me the Giants. So now, and then I'm going to take the Bengals over the Chiefs, and I'm going to take the 49ers over the Giants in the NFC Championship game. I'm going to take the Bengals to win it all. Okay, give me that Joe Brrr Super Bowl. But yeah, I just feel like there's something special about them, and it's gonna be hard to watch them. I just can't see them losing, honestly. Like,
the way I see it is, go ahead.
No. What are you saying?
I was gonna say the way I see it is the gap between Joe Burrow and Josh Allen, I think, is a lot smaller than people give it credit for. Like, Joe Burrow for the last 2 seasons has consistently been elite. Like, we're talking like top of the line, like consistently been right behind guys like Allen and Mahomes. Like, he's been clear cut the 3rd best quarterback in football over the last 2 years.
For sure.
And not because, and it's not 3rd best because he isn't good enough, but 3rd best just because guys like Mahomes have put up like god tier numbers. Like, he's ridiculous, and for some reason he seems to take it up a notch in playoff games. He seems to be able to handle postseason environment. We've seen him play at a pretty high level already in those situations. He's shown that he can beat teams like the Chiefs. He's shown that he can beat pretty good defenses. I don't really see it. Like, Burrow is kind of like, I don't know how else to put it other than just like he's just kind of underappreciated this year, just because it isn't like, I feel like last year there was a lot of hype that maybe he should have gotten. But then this year, it's kind of like the overcorrection has been like, oh, well, he's not that good, and he is that good. So I think the Bengals, I know I picked them to lose in the divisional round, but I could definitely see them going all the way to the Super Bowl. That was a tougher game to pick. I just had already made my mind up like a week ago.
Yeah, I feel you. So yeah, and I think to close out the episode, we should do a nice little question segment. So so far, besides the teams that are on your team, so basically players that are off the Giants. What are your guys' favorite plays? Some of your guys' favorite plays this season. I mean, for me, my favorite was probably the Pickens catch, cause the
Oh,
way he
like that
just
one-handed thing.
yeah the whoa, kind of Odell, a variant of the Odell catch. It did it was super fucking known when people kept comparing it to the Odell catch, but that shit was so fucking good. Like I have to give respect where respect is due.
I
But
was thinking about. Oh, my bad.
what were you saying? I was about to ask you what you thought.
Oh, I said I was so that Pickens catch. First off, Pickens I think is someone, and the Steelers again. Like I'm pretty high on their future. I think that's a team that I think that team's gonna be a lot more fun next year to watch, and I'm really excited to see how they play next year. I was thinking about. I know I had mentioned the catch that Allen made in week 8. Not Allen made the throw that Allen made to Brown in week 18. That was it was on the run, scrambles out the pocket, fucking incredible throw, incredible catch.
Yeah.
But then I remembered the lateral that the Patriots had against the Raiders that was
Jesus
botched
Christ,
and was
you're a
picked
dick.
off for a touchdown. That probably, like, I remember, I don't know how I forgot that play. That play was fucking hilarious. So I'm going with that one. That one was.
I think that play was so memorable for all the wrong reasons because
Right.
it's like,
Yeah.
how the hell did this happen? Like, how the hell did like this
Yeah.
entire thing cause the Patriots to lose? Oh my god!
All right. So what about you, Josh?
I thought okay, so I'm gonna say the Justin Jefferson catch against the Bills, which was, I mean, to be fair, I think he had some help with like the defender where like the defender kind of like tried catching it, kind of had like some small grasp on the football, but like Jefferson kind of like snatched it with his like hand with one hand. That was like insane, especially with the context of the game, just like with everything on the line. Him doing that was insane. I think that's probably my play of the year.
That's fair. Okay. All right. Then moving on. The biggest surprises this year and biggest disappointment. I think for me the biggest surprise was, I mean, I was kind of on their wave. I mean, I was on their wave for a while, but just to actually see it come to fruition has been great. For me, it's been the Jaguars. I'm very happy to see them really be able to produce and make the playoffs. And I'm really happy, excited for the future. But what about you guys? Biggest surprises?
I think okay. I wanted to say the Steelers, but I've given them a lot of credit already, so I don't want to like only talk about the Steelers. But I think the Seahawks, right? That's
Yeah.
pretty consensus. See, I mean, I don't know what their future looks like at quarterback because I don't know if they bring back Geno Smith. I don't know if they draft a quarterback. That's still up in the air. But in terms of just in terms of, I mean, Geno Smith is probably the big factor there. So I guess I don't know what their future looks like in that regard. But I mean, I think they're in a good spot because they have 2 first-round picks and because one of those picks is going to be, I mean, the Broncos pick is pretty damn good. So I know that Broncos win probably affects that pick. I don't know how much they got hurt by that. But if they decide to bring back Geno Smith, that'll be great. If they decide to draft a quarterback, if they're in range to draft one of the top 2 guys, which I don't think they will be, that's great as well. But I think they're in a position where you can say they can be a playoff team next year. And that's better than what I thought anything remotely close to what they were going to be this year, coming off of trading Russell Wilson, and just a disaster that was as well, because there was that Russell Wilson trade felt like it was a long time coming. And I don't think Pete Carroll's a great coach. I don't know how I feel about him, but at least the roster is pretty solid.
Yeah. All right. So then, Josh, biggest surprise for you?
So I have 3 picks, and they're not like massive surprises, I guess, but like these are the ones that I guess I should probably mention. So the first one is the Jets. I did not think the Jets were going to be that good to start this season. And then, but like seeing their young core do so well at the expense, like, even with Zach Wilson and all their quarterbacks just playing awful, I think that was very surprising. I think the fact that they won 7 games is very surprising. Of course, they taper off to end the season, but that's because, Brees Hall got injured and their quarterback situation got the best of them. But I think that's probably my pick for like the most surprising team. But I think the 2 other teams that kind of low-key should be mentioned is, okay, this is kind of a weird one, but the Bengals. because the Bengals started off the season super poorly, and then they were able to find a way to just get back into the groove when I kind of didn't really expect them to, mainly because they were so inconsistent offensively, and the way they played, it felt as if they were never going to get back to a groove until like very, very late in the season, and they were able to pick it up immediately after like week 4 or 5, and then they just kept on rolling. And I think from that point on, you could argue that they're maybe the best team in the NFL. The other pick would probably be, I think I said the Dolphins because I didn't know entirely how Tyreek was going to play without Mahomes, how Tua would play in a situation where he has two, deep ball receivers, and for the most part, with the exception of like injuries and stuff, when they were healthy, they played really damn good. They played like one of the best teams in the league, and I think that really surprised me. Just seeing how Tua played, how Tyreek played, just how good that offense was in general.
Yeah. All right. So for the disappointment, I'm gonna go ahead and there's a couple obvious ones, but for me, like there was, what I just forgot it. Why did? All right, so I'll just let one of you guys go first while I try to remember this.
I mean, the easy one to say is the Broncos.
Yeah.
I expected them to do very well in a sense where it's like I thought they would compete with the Chiefs and Chargers for the AFC West, which on paper looked like a stacked division. Like, 4 teams that looked like they're playoff caliber teams. But seeing like the offense, especially the offense implode the way it did, I did not expect that at all. I expected some growing pains to start the season. I thought like the first week had its moments, like they just were unlucky with 2 end zone fumbles, I'm pretty sure. Like they looked fine. I mean, there was a questionable decision to kick like a 60-something yard field goal, but they looked fine. But then it just looked like they progressively got worse and worse and worse as the season went by offensively, and it's like I did not expect that at all.
Yeah. So I remembered my worst. Probably my biggest. I have 2, a player and a team. Biggest disappointment was Kyle Pitts, and he just vanished into fucking thin air this season. And
It's not really his fault though.
Yeah, it's not, but still,
like,
it's still kind of upsetting. And as a team, my biggest disappointment probably the Packers. Honestly, they should have. I feel like they definitely could have competed this year. I don't think I think the biggest disappointment for me was trading Devontae Adams. Like it still doesn't make sense to this day. Like
I still haven't got that.
But what about you, Ryan?
I think for me it's the Rams. Like coming off of a Super Bowl, and you I mean, at least the way I see it is like the Packers and the Broncos are phenomenal choices. But like the Rams reached the highest peak, and then I think I'm pretty sure they had either the same record as the Broncos, maybe just one more win. Like at least the Packers got to Week 18 where they could have made the playoffs, right? It was still a disappointing outcome. Like you don't make the playoffs, but the Rams are entering what's going to be a very dark era for that franchise. I don't think they imagined after winning the Super Bowl they were going to be this bad. I think they were imagining, we could at least be competitive, even if we don't get to another Super Bowl, win one. Just contend in your division, right? Like in no way or shape or form is that division, easy per se, but they should have been able to, stay ahead of a team like the Seahawks all year. Even if they finish second in that division, get to the playoffs, right? This is a weak NFC. Matthew Stafford, when healthy, is not a top 5 quarterback or anything like that. But if you look at the rest of the quarterbacks in this pool, is he not probably the best one, right? If he was healthy.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those situations where the NFC is going to be very devoid of quarterback talent next year as well. And you just took yourself out of a prime opportunity to have a very easy way to walk to the Super Bowl. And I guess you could say the same thing about the Packers. At least with the Broncos, you can say, well, it's a tough. The AFC is just fucking brutal. The AFC West is brutal, man. It's a tough division. It's a tough conference, right? Not excusing them going 5-12. But good God, the Packers and Rams really left an opportunity for both of them to go to the Super Bowl, or at least get to an NFC Championship game. More so the Packers here in that regard of like they haven't been successful in the postseason. And if Rodgers won that game in Week 18, you don't know what can happen after that. You're playing, probably playing you're playing the 49ers, which is a tough matchup, don't get me wrong, but you're playing Brock Purdy, or you're playing Kirk Cousins, or you're playing Jalen Hurts, or you're playing Dak Prescott. Like these are teams that should not be wasting these type of opportunities because you don't know what it's going to turn out to be next year.
Exactly. But yeah, I do hope better for all these franchises next year, but can't all be winners. All right, so rounding out the question. Well, I think we have two more. Yeah, two more questions. Where are the top 4 quarterbacks going? You have Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Will Levis, and Anthony Richardson. I think no matter what, Young is the first. I think Young and Stroud first two off the board. Them and I think Stroud is probably going to be well, unless whoever trades with the Bears has a different valuation. I do really think it's going to be Young, Stroud, but after that, getting Will Anderson at 3, like, who has the 3rd pick?
Cardinals, I think? Is it the Cardinals?
Is it not the Colts? Is it? I thought it was the Colts, but I could be wrong. Maybe I'm going to check right now. I'll pull it up.
Draft order.
Yeah.
My bad. I just hit the mic. I know that. Yeah, it's the Cardinals. So it's the Cardinals, Cardinals, Colts, Seahawks, Lions, Raiders, Falcons, Panthers, and Eagles to close in the top 10. So, do we think any of those teams reach for Will Levis? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the Colts do, but
I think the Colts definitely will.
But I don't. I think that's still way too early.
I think the Colts would trade up for the number 1 pick, though. I feel like
that's
they
also
would probably
possible.
try doing
Yeah. But I don't have a 1st round grade on Levis. I have maybe a 2nd or 3rd. I just don't.
He's just too raw of a prospect,
Yeah.
I think. But I think if the only way he really pans out to be a great quarterback is if he's in a really good situation where he could develop, like, I guess, like a Mahomes situation, or like, I guess somehow like he has like some miracle Josh Allen 3rd season kind of thing, which never happens to most quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So I think a 2nd round evaluation is perfectly fair. I feel like there will be a team that'll reach for him, though.
Yeah, I can't see the Seahawks because they have too. Pete Carroll loves him some defense. I don't think, and they have a bunch of defensive playmakers leaving, so I think they're definitely gonna go defense. I wouldn't mind them trading back for Levis and letting him cook behind.
Yeah,
but I mean, maybe the Raiders. Raiders is the. I'll tell you, Raiders, Falcons, Panthers. Those are all places where I can see them going. Maybe even the Titans. But it's a very iffy situation where you don't know if a team could, what they're gonna do. And then Richardson. Richardson is definitely a project quarterback, but he has a lot of fucking potential. But he's also fucking old for NFL quarterback prospect. I mean, I could definitely see him falling a bit, but, like, let's say because I don't want to project him to a team which needs him. I mean, which needs a quarterback immediately, but maybe the Buccaneers possibly. The Giants later on in the draft. There's a lot of, like, I'm really interested to see where he's going to go. I really hope he goes to, like, a good organization where he's able to sit for a while.
Yeah, the way I see it with Richardson and Levis is that Richardson ends up on like the Bucs, and Richardson just feels like a match made in heaven, where you can, they even if they don't bring back Brady, they can bring in a veteran, and they just know he's not starting year 1. I feel like Will Levis is the most obvious Washington Commander I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Will Levis and the Washington Commanders is just like such like I feel like I can see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I don't know, like, I don't think the Steelers, like, so, you're looking at that middle of the draft class, right? Maybe the Packers try to pick a quarterback.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe, but you already have Jordan Love. Why pick a quarterback?
And plus, I don't know if Levis gets past all those teams I listed in the top 10, just because they're so quarterback hungry. So it's like, are they really?
True.
Are they really gonna let it slide?
I mean, yeah, you're right. You are right here.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe Richardson. I think Washington ends up with a quarterback. I don't know how. Maybe they trade up, but I think they end up with a quarterback. I think you're going to see the Texans and Colts take a quarterback. I don't think the Lions are taking one. I think maybe the Raiders take one. The Falcons are interesting. The Falcons could be
Falcons
Panthers. Never mind. They're not going to get past them unless they trade up.
Yeah.
That's going to be there's someone trading up. It's going to be some crazy ass trade ups too. The Bears are interesting too because I mean, not that they haven't shown a commitment to Justin Fields, but the way they're talking doesn't sound like they're saying no shot at quarterback.
No, it's like the comment. It's like maybe there's like maybe like a 10% chance.
Right, but it's still not 100% that they're not taking one. But I think if you're not taking a quarterback, you absolutely have to trade down. You're gonna get a haul, and then next year, if you're in a position where you feel like you're not sure about quarterback, not only are you gonna have a bad record and probably be close to that top 5, but you can have mobility to trade up if need be because you have so many great picks. If you're gonna draft a quarterback, I can't say it's the worst decision in the world, but I just don't really get it. I don't fully understand it, but. They have to trade down. You can't don't pick first if you're not picking a quarterback. Try to someone desperate. Play with the Texans' heart. Be like, hey, the Colts want him. The Colts want that number 1 pick.
The Texans do have 2 and 12.
So they could. The Bears could put themselves in position to get 2 high-level prospects. Really start bolstering that roster. They have a ton of cap space. And the worst case scenario next year. Fields is bad, and then you're like still picking the top 5, and you have a bunch of picks, or you have assets. You can trade up into that top. You could trade up to get Caleb Williams, or you can get how do I forget the other fucking prospect's name, dude? I should know.
Next year's quarterback class, stack, fucking
top 2 is unbelievable. But
and to close out today's pod, where will the 2 GOATs of this generation, Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, end up next year? Will they be playing? Will they be in retirement? Will Aaron Rodgers be a full-time guest on the Joe Rogan podcast?
So he's like what, a co-host?
Yes.
Aaron, I feel like Brady is still gonna keep playing. Like I have a gut feel.
If I had to put money on it, I would say Brady's retiring. If I had to put money.
He's divorced. He's like, fuck it, I'm still gonna play.
I think he's gonna be like, damn, look at all this shit.
I feel like he's gonna be like one of the few football players ever to be like, I'm gonna die on the field or some shit. I feel like that's his approach to playing.
That'd be great.
I think Brady's still good enough to have a market, so that's gonna be. As long as
I think it's more him. I feel like any NFL team besides maybe like 5 would sign him. So, it's more his commitment to the game. Does he really want to go back? Yeah. And I think if he does, this is the last year. This has to be the last year.
He did say he wanted to play till he was 45 a while ago, and he's 45 now. So I don't know how much longer he actually wants to play. Maybe he reached 45. He's like, fuck it, we still ball. Like, if he loses, like, I think also the playoff situation affects how far he's going to go. Like, if he loses in the first round and they get embarrassed, he might just call it quits there. I just said fuck it.
Or he might be like, oh, shit, I can't let that slide.
Or if he goes out on top, like you could say, oh, maybe he wants to keep that fuels his fire to think he's, he can still go out and compete for a Super Bowl every year. But that also might be like, all right, I already won a Super Bowl.
Josh, I'm sorry, but Josh, what the fuck are you doing?
I don't know what I'm doing.
All right, man, but I mean, I think Rodgers still has another 2-3 years in him. Honestly. I think he still plays.
Yeah, he's still tied up to that contract. Yeah, I still don't. I don't think he's gonna retire out of nowhere and screw the Packers over.
I think we will see Brady as a broadcaster next year, honestly. But yeah,
I could see that. But
quarterback teams that don't get one.
What'd you say?
One of these teams are not going to end up with one of these teams that want to draft a quarterback are not going to end up with a quarterback. Which one of these teams do you think are best positioned to win now? And whatever team that is, I think ends up with Tom Brady.
I think the first team that comes to mind is the Jets. Like, if the Jets don't get a
there's no way. I think that was the 1 of 5 team that could think there's no way. After all the shit he's put them through, there's no way Jets fans.
I think that would incentivize them more. They're familiar with Tom Brady. I just don't think Tom Brady would. I don't know if Tom Brady's going to play for the Jets. Not that they're not a good enough roster to play for, but I feel like I don't know. That's weird. I think it could be. That'd be really weird. I kind of want to see.
I could see Rodgers doing that.
It could be the Falcons.
I could see Rodgers doing that.
But I'd say maybe the Falcons, the Panthers, possibly the Titans. Maybe the Titans.
What about the Saints?
Saints was another one. Like any of the NFC South teams, honestly. And
there's just some trade proposal
Las Vegas for sure.
There is this trade proposal where it's like, I think someone suggested that the Packers trade Jordan Love for Zach Wilson and like some low pick. Or something like that.
I think he still has enough value. Jordan Love still has enough value to go for more than that. And Zach Wilson doesn't move the needle at all.
Zach Wilson's a broken quarterback.
Like Zach Wilson
the
has
future
like
of him is not even-
Zach Wilson is like if you add a trade, to like where make a trade or whatever in Madden, like the bar is gonna move like a fucking centimeter. Like
Zach Wilson is like if you took one of us and put us on a football field.
I think it's
Legit.
worse because he's white and Mormon.
Yeah,
But
maybe,
that is the
maybe,
perfect fucking way to close this episode. Fuck Zach Wilson. Fuck Mormons. And we are all better than Zach Wilson at being an NFL quarterback. I love you all, unless you are a Mormon. And have a great rest of your day, rest of your week. I hope you guys enjoy your wild card weekend, and I hope your team wins, unless your team is the Cowboys and any other team I fucking hate. Do not go fuck yourselves. I love you guys too much for that. And yeah, peace and prosperity to all, folks. Later.